is my name. My name is Lil Queen. I'm from a KV story. This is about me. My name is Lil Queen. When I grow up, I'm gonna be a singer, and that's who I wanna be.
You know, we got the little homie Jacquees in the building, man. 14-year-old R&B sensation. Don't say nothing.
There you go.
Don't say nothing.
Hey, make sure y'all go get my mixtape right now. It's on www.mixtape.com. From 16 to 25, he's the one. It ain't nobody else.
I've been singing since I was 9 years old.
9 years old.
100 million global Spotify streams. Please welcome Jacquees.
Yes, sir.
We really driving too and shit.
Yeah, we really are. On the fucking way. Let's get it. Just want to let everybody know that I'm the king of R&B right now. For this generation.
Hashtag King of R&B began trending on social media.
He was feeling that, like, for right now, for this past 2 weeks, he's the king of R&B.
Got to be talking about just this generation.
Yeah, he's talking about
this
now.
generation.
You mean, how did the king of R&B influence R&B?
Better get ready. This is my little brother, Jacquees.
I was jumping around, singing, dancing.
I thought he had on Heelys the first time he did that. I was like, how did this nigga skate?
He's been the same person since that day one.
The authenticity is what keeps you connected.
It's infectious.
I hear Quee, I get happy.
Cameras on you 24/7.
Oh, I'm about to do something. Yeah.
So yeah, my name is Rodriguez Jacquees Broadnex. My family, they call me Quee. I'm from Atlanta, Georgia. We was raised actually in Decatur. Like kind of came up a little bit like East Atlanta. My grandma had a daycare over there that she had for 15 years. So we was always over there every day. It's like I kind of claim East Atlanta and Decatur. More so Decatur though, because that's where people know me from.
Music was always playing in my house. Gospel, John B. Key, Kirk Franklin, and my mom. My mom was a school teacher.
She ran like the whole East Atlanta area when it comes to education, child care. She just took care of that side. Like she took care of her family. She gave all her family jobs. You want to go be hungry, if you want some food, you can go get that. So she taught us how to be those type of people, you know, and how to give back and, you know, how to give love and receive love. We always had a lot of special holidays. You know, when holidays come around, you know, we always exchange gifts. We always have big Christmas, big Thanksgiving.
How did that happen? Okay, who gonna open there?
Oh. Me to you, Grandma.
Oh, look. Oh.
Grandma, when you walk, you know,
It's a large.
Go down.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why.
Hey, look, I hate to tell you, having that truck lane.
That is nice.
When I first opened the center, that's all.
That is.
But how do you cash checks?
What you mean? You go to the bank?
What you do?
Go to the bank, sign the back, and give me your ID.
Right. We got a big old pot.
We always just been there for each other. Like, whatever anybody want to do, we pretty much support it. And that's pretty much how they did me my whole time. Like, they always supported what I wanted to do. It's like they always, Quee, like, Quee, what we gonna do? Like, come on, Quee, let's do this. Quee, you know you can do this. Quee, okay, you want to do that? All right, Jacquees, let's do that. They call me Jacquees when they want to make me feel like the star.
From birth on up, Jacquees was Jacquees. Maybe 3 years old, we sort of knew then that I knew I had a character on my hand.
It's one thing to have like a kid and to hear them say something that they want to do and you just like, okay, that's dope, you can do it. But it's a difference from having a parent who You tell them what they want to do and they actually push you to be it. Like they actually use their money to get behind you. They use their money to put you in theater and do different things like that.
He did The Wiz, of course, on Broadway. That's when we really, really knew.
I remember Chloe Bailey, she was the lead, and I played like a munchkin. But they gave me a solo where I had like a dance part at the end where I got to show like, you know, I didn't get to show like I could sing on stage right there, but I got to show I could dance. And I remember backstage we used to sing in the ensemble. And whenever we used to sing in the ensemble, I used to always sing my notes higher. That's when I started to learn like soprano, alto, you know, the different notes of singing. Because I was always the type of singer who never knew notes, never knew how to read music, just always knew how to just go. So being in the Wiz with True Colors and Kenny Leon and those different guys like that, it just taught me different things.
We found out that he was a great actor, and we finally found out that he could sing.
Chloe Bailey at a young age, she was already elite. Like she was already super dope. So you could already see her as a kid and be inspired by her. And I was older than her, but I was still inspired because she played Dorothy. So it was like, if you play Dorothy, you gotta be all the way on point. You know what I'm saying? So just to see that and to see where she is now and to see where I am now also, I just like, everything worked. And it all came back from my mama, just put me in those situations.
Definitely hardships, trying to get Jacquees to where I wanted him to be and where he wanted himself to be. Me and my daughters, we put everything in one basket, and it was all for Jacquees. Working at the post office, didn't make a whole lot of money, but you know, we survived. Jacquees was our focus. Also the girls, they were really smart, so I can't say, but they wanted him to do this. The girls really did, opposed to them getting Jordans. It's like, you know, he gotta be best dressed. He gotta be best dressed, Mom. All the girls love him, so they would be like, okay, Mom, let him get the Jordans and the designers. So yeah, it was a lot of hardships, but one thing we had so much love in our home until we didn't know that we were really falling on hard times because it was so much love.
You know, I ain't found out till I got older, but you know, we used to always stop at like a McDonald's that was by like Oglethorpe College, I think that was the name of where we used to go. And we used to always get McDonald's in there, like the food I ain't eat. My mom used to always tell me like, man, all the food you ain't eat, I used to have to eat that.
Anytime we ever faced adversity, we were always together. And we always knew as long as we were together, you know, it was a light at the end of that tunnel.
Yeah, our mom always assured us of that.
Like, we weren't poor, don't get me wrong. Like, you know what I'm saying? We wasn't poor people. We was like middle class, but we was also the type of people where it's like, go to the next level or the next level. You dig what I'm saying? You can either go this way or that way. We was that family, like right in the middle. But my mom used to always tell us, like, when we go through stuff, like, you ain't got to show people what you're going through. Like, just smile and just, you know, you ain't got to show people what's up, because we was always going to be fresh.
He would always have laughter. He would always make light of the situation. It could be the heaviest situations, but he will always find a way to make us laugh.
As you know, his breath is killing me, so I guess we just ain't got to do it. His feet. And that dude's teeth. Alright. I like the way you walk. I like the way you talk. I like the way you move.
My mama had like a night job, and I used to hate that too. Like, you know, your mama gotta go to work at nighttime. I think she worked at like Walmart. This back when Walmart was 24 hours. You feel me? Your mama gotta go to work at night. You like, dang, like, you know what I'm saying? You sleep, then you wake up in the morning, mom gets you ready for school. So she had it going. She was hustling. She used to always play like good music in the house.
We watched Temptations, Jackson 5 all the time.
On loop.
Yes.
Yes.
And of course, as he got older, Michael Jackson. We heard Michael Jackson. His room was downstairs in the basement. So that's all we would hear, Michael Jackson, and of course, Chris Brown.
Desire to be with you, gotta get to you, baby. Won't you come? It's emergency. Cool my fire, yearning, honey, come set me free. So many things I wanna tell you. I see you, till I won't be there. I'll take it on the way to go. I gotta give a gay promise. Was that good? Yes!
It's nothing wrong with finding someone you look up to and trying to be just like them and then finding yourself. You know, I believe in that. Like, I looked up to Michael Jackson like a fool. Like, looked up to Chris Brown like a fool, and it made me become who I am. Like, I had to take certain things from them to make Jacquees. It's like, you can't make Kool-Aid without sugar and water. You feel me? Like you gotta put some stuff together. We used to always go to church, so I would always hear singing. My auntie stayed in the choir, and my auntie actually used to take me to radio stations when I was young. I used to get to go to the radio station with a gospel artist named Dottie Peoples. I used to get to go up there with Dottie Peoples and, you know, just get to play on the microphones and just do different things like that. And if I knew I wanted to do music.
You go see me on MTV and probably BET and probably 106 and probably prime time. When you see me, I'ma be on there live.
I started singing when I was about 9 years old.
When I first saw you, I said to myself, girl, who you looking good for? Who you talking to? Who that fella is standing right next to you?
Never a dull moment. You always knew when he was in the house. Come in singing at the top of his lungs until he got tired.
He used to be just singing to the point where people who know him and was around him all the time would get annoyed because of how much he was singing.
Girl, is this?
This man, he might get up early in the morning, singing, go to the bathroom singing while everybody sleep.
Do you mind if I give you some of my 12 kilos?
I used to tell him, get out that bathroom. And he just go in there and sing.
You know, it's 8 o'clock in the morning, man. Be quiet, man. Like, let us sleep. Well, he wasn't going for it.
I'm gonna ask you a question. Can you see me good? Look.
Mike, it's so clear.
Baby. Oh, I'm about to do something. Yeah.
Do this, but go ahead and break them off with a little previews of the remix. Now I'm not trying to be rude, but hey, girl, I'm feeling you, the way you do the things you do.
Move your hand! Daddy, you wanna mess me up! Dang!
We getting ready to go outside. She yelling, telling him to come out the bathroom, and he just singing Michael Jackson songs.
I can't describe, but he was, you know, every time somebody tell him to sing, he sing. And that's what he loved to do.
My dad had him singing in front of people at the pool. He dancing and everything, doing all the little Michael Jackson moves.
We go to the store, we go to the barbershop, he's singing loud to where he don't care. We go down to the neighbor's house, they got him singing for the birthday parties.
And even the strong need someone to tell them it's alright.
Like I knew I could be a singer. People was already treating me like a superstar in my neighborhood.
I always marched to the beat of his own drum. He kind of
always
was
the
his
influencer.
Yeah, he was the influence.
He was different. First day of him walking in class, cause you know, my school was kind of like a uniform school. He was the only nigga who never wore a uniform.
So he came in with the Converses and jerseys and shit. We all like, damn, he ain't gotta wear a uniform? So everybody stopped wearing uniform. He brought us to like the swag for our school, really. We all had uniform, everybody. Everybody went to Camberland Elementary School from 2004, 2005, you know what I'm saying? We stopped wearing uniform. Before that, we was.
He been himself. He's the same person. He always been best dressed, you feel me? Always been fly, you feel me? Always at the girls.
Always singing.
Always singing.
Like, he was just cool as hell off rip. Like, he always had like that star. And then when he was just singing and shit, we were like, damn, you could sing too.
When he started winning all the talent shows in DeKalb County, that's when I knew that we had something.
Our elementary school had a talent show, and that was like the first big, like,
where people knew,
yeah,
like, okay, that's some real talent.
Right.
They called it Camberland Idol. This when American Idol was real big. So you had like Fantasia and Ruben and, you know, everybody like that. So it was just super dope that my school was doing it, and it was a way for everybody to know that I was singing. I entered the talent show.
He won that bitch off the rip. He was Michael Jackson in 4th grade and won. So that's when I knew, like, oh yeah, he the one, you know what I'm saying? This is my best friend, I'm sticking with him.
From me winning the talent show, it's like I became like Jacquees the singer.
So he young as hell, so I'm thinking he was finna make it, the next year off that.
I was the only boy for so long, like around all girls, like girl cousins, girls, you feel me? So I thank God I came out so tough like how I am, you feel me? Because I was literally raised around all girls, but I had a lot of friends in the neighborhood.
Hey! Oh, I caught you on camera. Oh, you ran into the mailbox.
And we was fun as kids, you know what I'm saying? We used to push the whole line.
Blood couldn't make us no closer. We done been through hella situations together. Like we done been at the bottom together. We done been at the top together. Like the relationship real solid. A lot of people don't have those kind of long-lasting friendships no more. But it's something that's going on 20 years plus, 17 years plus. We was all young and we was in the same elementary school. And then, yeah, we just picked up from there. Neighborhood stuff, you know what I'm saying? Neighborhood, link up.
And all the class clowns, so they always laugh at everything I do.
It was goofy as hell. We just used to have a ball. Laughing. We had our own lingo, had our own language.
They had on yesterday on Sky.
Coming.
Young black kid growing up in the east side, just everything, just girls going to different hoods, little fights here and you know, just sneaking out.
So we started going to all the schools, doing all these tours around the middle schools, around Atlanta, around Decatur and stuff like that. We was killing it. It was dope. We was having fun. We was kids. We 13, 14, 15 years old at this time.
We just shut the school down real quick. I do. Yeah, we out of here.
We're going in front of teenagers and performing and girls screaming and we getting all kind of attention, notoriety together.
I met him, he was, you know, that's when he was braces quick. And he was so eager back then. And I was the same way. We just hit it off from there. We had our first session about a week later. And we just been rocking them since.
So I was singing in front of the Kroger Plaza. This back when they used to have payphones and a bench. We just used to always sit up there on the bench and just kick it.
I figured out he could sing when I met him at 10 years old.
Learning everybody's different moves, watching videos, adding his own swag to what he liked and what he sing. So he sort of took different avenues from different folks and made it into his own.
Every time you sing, he can sing. Come through, sing, go on about his business.
You know, he had a dream that he was trying to follow, so we always encourage him to follow his dream and do the best he can do.
It was rough in the community then, you know, guys robbing, breaking in houses, but you know, we hung around us to stay out of trouble, I believe.
Trying to grow up fast, you know how kids do. Trying to learn, they gamble, shot basketball in the bag.
Eastside Atlanta Zone 6, dog, you know what I'm saying, Jacquees.
Yo, what up? This your boy Jacquees, man. Hey, shout out to the whole team Jacquees and shout out to Crump Productions. Hey, make sure y'all go get my mixtape right now. It's on www.livemixtapes.com, hosted by my homie DJ Spin.
Becoming a man, you're in preteen, learning life. So we try to steer him in the right direction. You always have hardship in a black neighborhood, but that don't mean you can't make it. If you have a dream, I advise you stick with your dream. You never know what you're gonna be.
Great kid, real humble.
I was out there singing, a guy came and saw me, and he was like, man, you can sing, I'm gonna put you in the studio. I know a guy named Dex Lee, and from that point, Dex Lee put me in the studio. He put me in artist development, different things like that at the time, what artists was doing.
I need a girl in my life, but every time I try to talk to her, I start to feel so weird inside.
I made a demo, and from that demo, he brought a guy down here named Orlando Grind. I call him Deggy. He brought Orlando down here.
Jacquees, big block, pushing on the big buttons. That's what we do, that's what we happen, man. You know what I'm saying?
We make hits, dog. I make hits. We make hits. We make hits out this single.
Orlando introduced me to Block. Block Kids was getting trained by my dog, Coach B. And Coach B had a relationship with Block, and Dougie, which is Orlando, gave him the CD, like, man, get us the Block. He gave him the Block. Block wanted us to come to the studio. We went to the studio, and that's how everything started.
Let's go.
Right before you song.
Okay. It's the money. Right there,
Yeah, that's good, that's good.
All right.
One day, him and my boy Orlando, they came over there at Block Entertainment. He was sitting in the lobby at first, just sitting there in the lobby. I didn't know who he was, so all I know that boy sat out there in that lobby. It had to be at least 30 days straight. I had people just walking over and he'll go out and shoot a little basketball. You know, we had a little basketball court there.
Oh, okay, John Jizzle. Okay.
You want me to throw that swag? What you say?
Okay.
Throw that swag on there.
And then one day I asked him, I said, who you waiting on? He said, man, I'm waiting on Block, man. I'm supposed to talk to Block and, you know. So one day I saw Block. I said, Block, listen, man, the band been out there for almost a month. Man, I got you. We're gonna get them in there. So I told Jacquees, I said, I tell you what we're gonna do. When they leave, I want you to come back around after 5, 7 o'clock. You know, everybody leave from now. You know, I'm the engineer, head studio guy. You know, I run the studio at that time. So he came back around about 6:37. Tomcat. They don't know. I get him in the studio. I had Jody Breathe there with me at the time, and we working, and then I think someone else, I think Dana's, God bless my boy Dana, and we started working on this one song. We started working on him doing it. So that's when I found out, I said, oh, this little boy can sing.
It's just pimping money and...
That sound real cool.
Yeah, real cool.
Too cool. The other two, a couple songs, and you know, I kind of like him a little bit, and we end up just vibing. He was young with a big voice type, you know what I mean? So he was kind of different.
Boy Cabby was in town from California, big producer. He was in town, and he said, listen, let me produce a track on. We produced a track on him.
Who you got right here, Cab?
Is that one of y'all sons?
No, my manager. What, say it again?
Say it again. What?
This young guy here is a superstar.
Why?
From the day I met him, from when I first met him, when I saw him, I like, yo, this little kid got it. I'd have been around.
Put me.
I ain't gonna name drop, but I've been around a lot of superstars in my life.
Hold on.
And I know what I see when I see it, man. I feel blessed. I know what I'm working with.
In the beginning.
And if I can throw some more fire, I can throw some gas right there, and we make this big ass brush fire. We make the brush fire, the big fire. That's really what it's about, man. I'm bringing my folks to the table, man, and we gonna win, man.
And that's
we walk
that.
across the Grammys.
We put T.I. on the song, with the song, and that's when I knew. I said, boy, this boy's talented. And every time you see him, he walk around there singing. So next few days he came through. I told Block the next day, I said, Block, the boy can sing. How you know, man? How you know? I said, I put him in the studio last night. Well, how did he do? How did he do?
And I heard him singing a song on YouTube. And I'm like, damn, then he started having the Quee mixes.
He came in there and said, Tom, I got an idea. I'm finna do number remixes. I'm gonna do all remixes. I'm finna call them Quee mixes. I said, what? He said, Quee mix.
I used to hear songs on the radio, and I used to always think like, man, if I was singing that song, man, it'd be crazy. Because I used to always feel like, man, if my songs was on the radio, it'd be crazy. So I'm like, how can I, what can be the trick to me getting on this radio? So I had already before had learned a little trick from Jody Breeze. We had remixed a record called Deuces, but it was his idea.
Block ENT Studios, you got your dog Jody Breeze.
Jacquees!
We're in the building.
Lego!
Y'all about to see a lot of this right here, so this here is just a little taste.
That was my first time picking up the camera myself.
You ain't nothing but a hater. Always hoping for the worst. Waiting for me to mess up. You'll regret the day when I find out.
I recorded the song. I mixed the song, did both of them verses, then we shot the video. And you couldn't have told me nothing after that. After I got 1 million hits off of that, I thought I was big in the videographer.
I'm moving on to something better. No more trying to make it worse. You made me wanna.
And when we remixed Deuces, it ended up blowing up real big on the internet and in the streets. And I remember it ended up getting to radio, playing on the radio. I'm like, dang, like we on the radio and we ain't even asked for this. Like, we just put some stuff out there, bro, and we on the radio. That's when I knew the power of the music. That's when I'm like, oh, so if you pop it hard enough, it'll be on the radio.
He said, I'm gonna switch it up. I'm saying, I'm in love with Rihanna. I said, boy, you do that one, we gonna do that one first. When you do that, I guarantee you Chris Brown himself gonna hit you up.
Look, I know girls love Rihanna. Girls have to act like they famous. Girls hate when niggas get smarter. Catching the moves that they thought of. These days it's hard to meet women. Feels like they all ain't no different. I've been avoiding.
Quemix was almost bigger than my original music. You might hear a rap song and I change it to an R&B record. Or you might hear your favorite R&B record and I put a twist on it.
Baby, no Jacquees is a star. Baby, no Jacquees is a star. Don't even trip on where I go. Don't even trip on where I go. She down to rap, but she gon' roll.
You know, a twist where you like, dang, I wish the original artist would have did it. It got to a point where you might be a big fan of the original artist, and then my song's so good, you like, man, but I gotta be a fan of Jacquees.
Take a bullet right through my veins. Girl, yes, I would die for you, baby. But you won't do the same.
Like, it got so crazy to the point where it's like, I was remixing so hard that artists was sending cease and desist. Like for a mix show, like I'm just jacking beats, like when Wayne them used to do it. You know, that's kind of like what we got the idea from Wayne. Like a mixtape is just supposed to be like all other beats and you jacking it. You know, you just going over the beats and we just took it to another level. Like I always feel like the R&B Wayne when it come to remixes. Like when you get the cease and desist in your email about a remix, bro, you one of them. But shout out to all the artists that did embrace the Quemixes, because you got a lot of artists that did embrace the Quemixes and still embrace the Quemixes, you know?
It never was a job with us. We try to keep it as family-oriented as possible, because he a good dude, he was a good kid, you know what I mean? He always had his little sauce, really wanted to do this. He put the work in at a young age, and that's why I kind of like took him up under my wing and tried to give him as much game as I could, because I knew in the future he would be doing what he's doing right now.
We went from there, went to Block House and did some recording. We also had a few, I just remember at Block House, he lived so far in Beaufort, right, at that time. It wasn't no go out there and turn back around. You going out there, you're gonna spend the night, the weekend or whatever.
Early in the morning out here, man. Out here in the country, man. Don't worry.
Yo, I got all three of my little brothers in here with me, man. You know what I'm saying? Jacquees still sleeping. It's better than the original version, I think.
Which sounds stupid?
What's it called? They liked it.
What's my name? What's my name? Remix Rihanna featuring Drizzy. Hey man, I ain't even gonna lie, I ain't brush my teeth yet, y'all.
We ride on the golf course. We start doing little videos and just start recording. And then Block finally got something going with them.
Building Young Thriller. That's what we doing. Behind the scenes of building. If you wanna, y'all just follow us, man. You know, I ain't through y'all wrong yet, right? Let's go. Block in.
I'm just a teenager. I'ma keep it plain.
We just started going up for that. We used to work. We used to travel around. That's when I started like getting my name out there. I met Greg Street. I started going to V103. Started getting my voice on the radio.
He used to come up to the radio station with Coach B a lot. We had a boxing program. So I thought he was like in the boxing program playing. I knew he played football at Towers High School. I thought he was also in the boxing program. I think Coach B and his partners, kind of like his managers, I think they kind of like discovered him involved with Block. So we just really started rocking with him. Just recording a lot of music with him and doing videos and doing different stuff with him. At the label, and so he came naturally sing, and you know, just had that star quality personality.
Craig Street.
Hey, we're here with Jacquees, the newest addition to Block ENT. What up, boy?
What's up, Shake?
I heard about this song you got with King of R&B. What you think about it?
I think it's dope. 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 I think it's do
Neo wrote for you.
Neo, shout out to big homie Neo.
It's
My
Heroes
dog.
record.
Hero, everybody need heroes. Heroes need heroes. Superman need a hero.
You gotta sing some of it live right now.
Right now, I give you some piece of. This only for the streets, for my boy Greg Street, man.
Most people think a lot of parents who try to manage their kids as artists and get them involved in their life as artists, they don't realize it takes, when you talk about a superstar, it takes 7 to 10 years. I mean, you can have some artists that blow up instantly on the internet, you know, on Instagram or TikTok, but if you really pay attention to those artists, if they're not smart, they don't really have a master plan. Most of those artists don't last and make 2 or 3 or 4 albums. They get to that 7, 8, 9, 10-year range to where now it's all coming to life.
They stayed interviewing them, stayed talking about Towers High School, and Block Entertainment has this new young superstar R&B talent. So between Greg Street and Reggie Rouse, they kept him on the radio.
Back to School Bash, Gucci Man, Jacquees. A lot of more artists gonna be there, but I will be there, and I'm gonna put it down for everybody out there, for all the fans, because I'm a fan of you guys too. So this one for all the fans, for all the kids going back to school, because I'm going back to school myself. So it's going down, Jacquees 2010, Flock NT.
He's a hard worker. You know, one thing I learned from Greg Street, I had an artist once before, and Greg told me, you out working your artist, Tom. I didn't understand what he meant at the time. He said, everywhere I go, I see you, but I'm yet to see the artist. And from that point on, I stopped working harder than the artists, and I started working with guys like yourself.
I was interning at V103 at the time. This kid from who knows where came in, said his name was Jacquees. He's coming in to do the little team report that we had going on at that time. They kept talking so much about him, never heard of him, never knew what he was, what he did. The first time I met him, it was kind of like we connected. At the time, he was with Orlando Grind, and me and him linked up. He was like, yeah, well, you know, you can start off, you know, come on in board with the team, start doing security, and we'll just go from there. And that's kind of how it all happened.
Jacquees had his own show on V103. It was a high school, after-school show. So we was up at V103 like it was ours too at the time, because Block had us up there all the time.
He's always been humble, always been, you know what I'm saying, cool, calm, and collected. The only difference is now he's just grown. And he just does a little bit more. But, you know, as a kid, he was just humble, eager to get into the industry, ready to do what he wanted to do and get to the level where he is now and beyond.
I heard he's Block's secret weapon to knock Justin Bieber out the box.
Oh, you know, fuck with Justin Bieber. Justin Bieber, you know what I'm saying? He got his own lane.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Jacquees, he got his own sound, got his own lane.
I love the whole vibe that we got going. You know what I'm saying? And I know it ain't gonna do nothing, but bro, it's already up here. We finna make it go to the moon. To the moon. See, don't nobody else know what's further than the moon. I wanna go further than the moon.
We ended up forming another company called BTC, because Block had felt like, man, I did so much with a Block Entertainment name. He was like, I just want you to have like a fresh start.
A new artist, Jacquees, man. We're in the studio right now, man. We doing our thing, man. You know what I'm saying? The big shout out to Tango. You know what I'm saying? Big shout out, you know what I'm saying, to Chris Lighty.
It stood for Block, Tango, and Chris Lighty. Chris Lighty had Violator Management. Of course, a lot of the greats been with Violator. You know, if you know Violator, you know Violator. Tango, which he was over the compound. Pretty sure he's still over the compound with Neo and Block. So they started BTC. We ended up getting a deal. My first deal was with Geffen Records and Interscope. I had a single deal for a record I had called Candy Girl. I was 15 years old.
You're my candy, oh so sweet. You're my candy girl.
Jacquees, how that, man? What we doing? You know what I'm saying?
We making hits.
Yeah.
Jacquees, pop R&B shorty. Doing my thing right now. Video coming up, Candy Girl. I really don't know where it's gonna be shot at. Probably LA, probably in the A.
Getting a single deal with Geffen Interscope with that song Candy Girl, which would have turned into an album deal if the video would have ever got shot and came out. But, you know, in this game, you know, people do dirty business.
Everything just kind of went down. So from that point, I had to keep grinding.
So let him go.
You poor, pretty little thing walking all alone at this time of day.
Wow, I'm like in shock. That was really nice.
Yeah, it's amazing to hear people that can actually still sing.
Yeah.
Tell your friends to follow me. Tell everybody to follow me and come join the ride. Let go.
Yes, definitely. And make sure y'all look out for his mixtape. He said it was coming out really, really soon.
In May.
Round of applause.
Round of applause.
And I waited out my contract till at the end, and when my contract ended, I dropped my first official mixtape called Round of Applause.
He's not in the mode of what, you would normally have as an R&B artist, so you cut his dreads, and I'm like, nah, that's what he wants, so we're gonna keep the dreads. He has braces, so they're like, nah, wait till you get braces off. I'm like, but he has a voice now, so for the cover, he wanted to release a cover where his head was cocked back, and it was just like his mouth was open. I was just like, Giles, I don't know.
He came with a whole different kind of swag than what a normal R&B guy would look or would be.
Everybody used to be like, nah, man, he like Lil Wayne just singing. I'm like, man, I'm trying to tell y'all, man, he a star.
There was a lot of people who didn't really understand it, but I knew he had a little swag. He looked like Lil Wayne, but that's the only thing that threw it off. At that time, he looked like a rapper type, but he was singing like a real R&B cat. So I'm like, okay, we're gonna let your look stay like that, but as long as you singing like that, it don't matter what you look like. You got a little sauce in you.
To be able to tune all of that out, all the noise out, whatever everybody else is saying, and just look in the mirror like, bro, I'm him. I'm gonna be the one that's gonna do it.
That's when I feel like I started really going up to another level, because I had already met all these people, Greg Street, different artists, and now I'm trying to take things to my own hand, because I know dang, I'm 16 and I ain't got a record deal no more. Now I gotta do it on my own.
Starting from the ground with him, being able to be that person that was innovative in the early parts of his career. He's a super creative person. He's hands-on with his career.
Like when I first saw him and first heard him sing, I knew then he was a superstar. That was back, like I said, back at V103, that was probably 15 years ago, before he dropped a mixtape, before he even had a first show. Like, I took him to his first show. Like, we drove in my truck to his first show ever. First page show, I'll never forget, it was Camden, South Carolina. He got $1,000 to sing for a girl's birthday party.
We're in South Carolina, chilling, finna shut it down for somebody Sweet 16.
Everybody here, say something, fool.
Hey, bro, I need you to help me out. If I be doing it.
The girl didn't know he was coming. The mother kind of surprised her. So it's kind of like she told her that, she wanted Jacquees, and that's how it was kind of set up. We had him in the back, and mom kept saying I couldn't get Jacquees to come, but he did bring us a video. So she acted like she was trying to play the video, and she couldn't get the video to play. So the screen kind of went up, and he was standing right there and just started singing. So the whole crowd just went crazy.
He got this confidence instilled into him that I think it really rubs off on everybody around him. You know what I mean? And I think that is his confidence exudes. It's exuded since before he was Jacquees. You know what I'm saying? Like when I first met him, he walked around. He had security, and we was like, oh, he got security. That's fine. Like maybe I should. Like he just started building his team. So by the time when he really did need security, he had it already. I've been knowing Bright since I was a kid, so it's been amazing to see him build his team early because he knew where he was going.
And y'all lied. Y'all forgot what show records out here, right?
He's 4275 from his first album. It was me, him, and Coach B. Boy, it was a time.
The first hit we had was, I would say, we had the Roller Coaster song.
I think that was the first time. And then we started seeing them on TV, and I just couldn't believe it.
You pull up in a wagon, I put the Jeep up. Take a we live and lavish, so kick your feet up. Hey, man, her in the club. Hey, said all the ballers showing love. Can you party with her now? Said I'm just trying easy. It can be simple, but ain't easy. I know you know what's up. It's all around. But there's something about you, think I'ma keep you. You pull up in a wagon. With the Jeep,
And then right after that, we had Bed. So Bed was the song that just blew up.
Now, Jacquees verse 2. Now, baby girl, see the action. I don't know why you acting.
After BD dropped for real, and I had my own condo, I was buying cars on the radio, constantly videos on TV. I had felt like I made it. And we wasn't even #1, no awards or nothing like that. I just felt like, man, for all the years of the hard work I had been doing, from dropping mixtapes, people not recognizing me, and, you know, just doing all this stuff I had been doing, just grinding throughout my cities, throughout other cities, I had felt like, man, for once, I feel like I made it, man. I got a spot, I got cars, people know me, I got some money, I can go shop, I could buy my family what they want, my partners.
For my mama. Now we shining. Happy birthday, bro. Love you.
Thank you. I love you.
We moved to the famous loft right off of downtown, where I met B Pace and the whole crew. Oh man, the loft was video shoots, parties. I had Coach B there too, but it was pretty much Jacquees' loft.
It's more. That's the word. More.
More of everything.
It's more of everything.
Yeah, same thing we was doing, but just on a different level.
Jacquees to have parties, him and his crew, FYB. I mean, that's what really blew their name up in the city.
6 all the way to about 6 in the morning, 6 to 6, just doing it every day. That's how we like got real close. Everybody was just got the bun off, just trying to make a way, trying to get some money some kind of way.
Like, we had people that were shooting videos. We had Issa and Jacquees at an early age that was already, you know what I'm saying, pushing the music tip at a young age. It broadened our horizon. It made us think different, to know that dreams could be in our grasp.
Shut it down, I'll show you what I do, girl. Tell your girlfriends apart, they jump tonight.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, I know this is what you've been waiting for, man. This is what everybody on Twitter, everybody on Facebook, everybody around the world been waiting for us to do a song together. Where you see the video, you see the note. Now it's time for us to make some dope stuff.
Yeah, time for us to go in, yeah.
So look, this is what we doing, man. Look, we doing a remix to Lay It Down.
We're in the studio right now.
Yeah, we in the studio right now.
Oh boy, it's your man Don Juan, but these are the stars right here, Jacquees and E. Let's do it.
I was at a skating rink party. It was Jacquees and Issa, and I was like, who are these niggas? You know what I'm saying? They just had like this tag team kind of energy about them, and they was just hustling and doing music and doing what they love. It's just like-minded individuals, and I hadn't really seen that so up close at my age at the time.
This is the first time we had Jacquees down here. We down here. We about to shut it down. Y'all been asking for it. Shot time. Appreciate it.
So I think I just sort of resonated with it, and they were always a little older than me. I was always the youngest, and I just watched them hustle and grind and create their brand and create, you know, their intentions, how they wanted to approach music, how they wanted to dress, how they wanted to, you know, walk in the club. Like, it was just, I just seen like a lifestyle. He always had the same friends around him. I always admired that. And all his friends is my friends now, and we all homies, and we all one clique. So it's like, I just noticed that he always kept his circle tight, and he always elevated people around him.
Growing up with him, you know what I'm saying, we grew up, we learned different stuff, but in our prime years, you know what I'm saying, like, we had to stand on business, you know what I'm saying? We always made sure our business was good. That made sure everything else was good.
Everybody fell in place. Thing worked hand. It was like a car. Car ain't gonna move unless every wheel got air in it. Back in the day, you know what I'm saying, we had B Pace working the camera. You know, you had me who wholeheartedly wanted to be an actor back then. And then, you know, Jacquees, he was the one that had the vision. When everything worked hand in hand, they came together and made a beautiful picture.
Working super hard, shooting videos, coming back to the crib, editing them same day, putting them out the next day, you know?
4 o'clock a.m. Oh yeah, what's up, cuz? What's up, man? Hey,
It wasn't no bread on the table, it was nothing. We just believed in it.
Back in the day in high school, you know, when we was pushing the narrative, we was shooting videos, staying out late, doing what we had to do, you know what I'm saying, just to show the world, like, where we wanted to be.
My little brother was like, be over there all the time as a little boy, just kicking and just having fun. They just be all through the hood, up and down with the shovel.
He used to go everywhere and sing, like walking down the neighborhood, sing. His mama gave him the opportunity to do that. Like, he one dude, he ain't have like no curfew or none of that. Like, he could have did whatever he wanted to make that play to do some singing shit.
I'm not gonna say he always had a point to prove,
but he was definitely gonna stand on his words. If our mom didn't want him coming in at a certain time, Quee was like, well, Mom, this just what we do around here. Like, you just gonna have to get with it. Yeah.
He's spending the night at your house on school night.
To probably get into it with my mama a lot, because I used to be like, look, Mama, we trying to shoot these videos. It's a school night, I understand, but we might not get out set till like 2 in the morning.
We early in the morning and we already singing. No.
We like teenagers, just got YouTube on lock. YouTube was crazy at that time, you know, it's like you had to post on YouTube, now it's TikTok. But being that we were doing that early, at such an early age, it opened up different doors and different phases, you know what I'm saying? Later on, you were able to meet more people, you was able to shake more hands, or people already come back to school and they be like, oh bro, we seen the video, you know what I'm saying? So it was always a good thing to be able to see like the reaction. I think I was always a little too young to kick it. My mom was like, nah, you can't go with them. You know what I'm saying? But as I got older, I think we got closer. I was able to, you know, pop out to the club whenever I feel like it or whatever it was, pop up to the studio. And I would just even sometimes hit the road with him. I'm like, yeah, he got a show in Alabama. You know, him and John Boy just put me in the van with him and I just tag along with him.
It's nothing nobody could like not call him for. Like, he's reliable, you know what I'm saying? Like, he's always there. Like, family, friends, like, you know what I'm saying? He's always there, like, and when it's time to show up, he the one, you know what I'm saying? He gonna show.
We finna kill it, like we always do.
Bravo. Shout out to Brandon. Hey, look at Wolfpack right there on top of him, though. We right now, for those who don't know, we in my studio, man.
Yes.
We built the studio from nothing.
Now you hear that.
Look, this the booth right here that we about to go in and make this beautiful music with. Yeah.
Doing this with people. I remember at the time my boy K Hill and Nico, I met them when I was in middle school. My teacher introduced me to them, and they was just some guys that was first put me in the studio just to show me how to do it, you know, just to show me how to, like, you know, lay my voice, lay backgrounds, lay stacks, hooks. They had me around, like, all the artists. I remember they'll have me actually listening to people's records, like a big artist that'll be out of records they didn't put out and try to give them to me just to try to shape me up for the game. All of it was inspiring.
That boy Jacquees just went in me, boy. Look at him.
You can tell that it was really his dream. You feel what I'm saying? Like he really wanted to make the best of everything. And when he in the studio as a kid, it was more like fun for him. He might be singing, dancing, flipping, you know what I mean, just doing all kind of shit. But when he got older, it was more, okay, hey, let's get it done.
Like I said, it's just a vibe. Like, I don't even know how to describe it. Like, he kind of, he trusts me, you know what I mean? So he trusts me to kind of do what I'm gonna do, hear what I hear and put it down, you feel me? And that boy can work, you feel me? He gonna fall asleep in the studio. Like, not like in the control room, like in front of the microphone.
When I record in the studio, it's like I pretty much it just gotta be a vibe.
I'ma do something I never did for you, girl. I'ma shut it down, I'll show you what we do now. Say it, girl.
I love you.
Thank you.
I just want
Here
you
we
to
go.
know you are so doggone talented.
That's Don Mama.
That's Shay Moore.
Talented.
Oh boy!
Oh boy!
You know, I work with a lot of people, you know what I'm saying? But when I get in with Jacquees, it's automatic every time.
Once the beat got me, nothing else matters. I don't care who in the room. I had a time where I used to be shy in the studio where if it was certain people in there, like I wouldn't want to record. You know, I wouldn't say the things that I would say. I'd still be killing it vocally. So I had to grow and get to that point where I knew, like, okay, this dope.
In the air now. I gotta do it though. Let me listen to Love's real quick. Gotta get it perfect. Gotta get it perfect, but I got the tone. But I gotta turn up.
So just being in the studio with him, it was a different vibe. I was able to see all sides of Jacquees, you know what I'm saying? Able to see him work with different artists and just seeing how creative he was and how he was able to just be able to go into the studio and be able to just come up with different lyrics on his head off the top of the dome, or just how he'll put different melodies together.
I'm like on every project, for real. I've been on every project, anything, ever since we met, everything since 19, I'll be a part of it.
It's a lot. Bounce, that's a classic off that first move. Your Piece, I like Risk It All a lot. I don't know, man. It's too many of them. In the studio, Quee is working. You feel me? Like, he's locked in.
I thought I was the workaholic, but when I linked up with him, I was like, oh yeah, this young boy go in. Like nonstop, K, what we doing today? K, what we doing? K, what we doing? I'm like, okay.
I mean, he'd go to school, come to the studio, stay all night, wake up, and go back to school.
Like sometimes he might come in the studio, he might take a little nap or something, he'll be up all night.
I need to find your BED. I know you need some sleep. But wake your ass up and eat your goddamn ice cream, stupid ass boy.
He'd be up till 6, 7 in the morning to record.
His sessions is all about the work. It's like if it's any dead space, it's like what we doing. I mean, throughout our career, you know, he would always know his core, you know what I'm saying, who his go-tos were as far as doing music. Like he trusts me when he called me, he know, okay, gonna make sure it happen.
After Block, it was just like, okay, let me try to start grinding. I was going through a couple different people. I remember I ended up meeting a guy named Tyrell. And Tyrell ended up kind of like being my manager at the time. He was kind of like, just let me know, all right, man, you got it. Like, you know, I'm gonna make sure you still stay afloat. I know about Block, I've been seeing you in the city. And we started working. He put me with a couple writers, a couple different people I started working with. I ended up getting with my manager, Jonathan, when I was 16. I was just on Wesley Chapel just trying to have a dream. And they was telling me he was a manager. I was like, man, let's just go for it. You feel me? He was into Jordans and all this stuff like that. So I was like, all right, we got a connection already.
Before even going to his house, I had already looked him up on YouTube. Different people had told me about him. So after I took the meeting with him, I was like, okay, if I meet with him and he can talk properly, or even if he can't talk the best, there's media training that we can do. But the point is to have the confidence and to be able to kind of like talk to people and hold your head up in a room. And initially meeting him, it was more so like, he was like, hey, come to my room. He was like, you think you got more Jordans than me? And I was like, this little kid, like, we're here to talk about your career. And he wants to talk about his Jordans. So it's just like, okay. I took a liking to him just initially because we were similar. So it's just like automatically, I know he's charismatic. I know that he can charm people. So therefore, you know, take him into a room of people, he can handle himself.
Fit body every color, man.
Yeah,
that's what we do.
We're in Foot Locker right now.
You got...
No.
What's
Matter
up?
of fact, this ain't Foot Locker, this Wish.
Wish?
Yeah, this Wish.
I wish I had a pair of shoes out of here. Only if I wish.
My marketing and public relations agency was referred to his mom and him. I just wanted to handle marketing for him. From growing up seeing Michael Jackson, listening to Chris Brown, automatically it's just like, if I'm gonna be in the music business, I would take a shot at somewhat of a kid star, and he kind of fit the mold of someone that definitely was gonna become a star. If he could have some help and some backing behind his ideas, we definitely can, you know, make it to the top.
We started doing our thing. He was actually with me when I first dropped my first mixtape.
He was a teenager, he couldn't curse, he couldn't go to certain places, so the marketing for him was a little bit different to where he had a high school fan base. He had like a talent, like he had a show on the radio station, you know, on V103. So pretty much for him, I think that we attacked the high schools more so than anything. Our first project that we released together, I was touring with Sci-Hi and Pusha T at the time. We were doing something, and DJ Spins was actually the person that we were on tour with, and I was telling Spins like, hey, Spins, I want you to kind of do a mixtape with Jacquees. And he's like, I know Jacquees, and I'm like, perfect.
At the time, he was like the biggest DJ to have host your mixtape as a young dude. Like, he was the young dude on the scene that if you could go over there with DJ Spins, it was like, he gotta be somebody, because Spins was only rocking with like the hottest at the time.
One time, man, DJ Spins here, Richie and T. You already know, man, you can count on us bringing you the newest artist first. Hottest thing on the streets right now, man. He gonna be killing the R&B scene. My man Jacquees, tell him what we got going on.
Round of applause. You already know it's going down. Team Jacquees, this mixtape is strictly for y'all.
Me and his mom just put money together. She put money in. I got stuff done and pretty much went to the high schools, and we literally plastered Jacquees posters, that big pink background, on every school pretty much in DeKalb County and the area. So pretty much when you came to school, it was almost like first day of school, Jacquees Day. Because on the first day of school, we're literally like posters on the stop signs where the buses come at, posters like everywhere. So pretty much I just rolled him around, his friends, Tevin, Chris, they were young, put them in the car, just put up posters.
We went to a place called, I think it was a shoe convention they had here, and we seen a guy named Fly. Fly was just a guy that, we just knew him for having money. You know what I'm saying? He was like, man, this guy got named Fly. He run around with Sci-Hi the Prince. He is investing in him, doing some different stuff like that. He getting ready to start a thing called TIG. I ended up getting with Fly, and once I got with Fly, he actually became like, you know, one of my managers. I ended up signing to TIG Management.
At that point in time, we started moving forward with Jacquees and Jacquees' career, but at the same time, Fly as a label CEO, he also had Rich Homie Quan, he also had Trinidad James, and he also had a wife and Lucci. So at this time, his hands was kind of full.
TIG was more so a rap label, you know, so they was kind of like getting off into, not say different stuff at the time, but I don't think they understood R&B.
Hit, right, hold, pop, turn, brush, brush. Try again.
We went to work, I dropped a project called 19 over there, and I didn't actually drop it with the label because Fly was so cool that when the project came out, he had a label at the time, so he went from TIG Management to TIG the label. I wasn't trying to sign with his label because I'm like, man, you coming up. Like, I mean, I could sign with the label, but I'm actually trying to sign with Chris Brown.
At that point, he didn't really have a lot of original songs, and he was coming to me because he was like, hey, you writing R&B. I need you to write me some original songs. So we got in, and I just came up with the idea to maybe take a remix at that time and make it an original remix. And we did Candy Rain, and like a week later, it was on YouTube, like, and it was going up. I'm in the beginning of the video. If you go look at the video, I'm in the beginning, like, introducing them. But at that time, I remember, I think Chris Brown had Fan of a Fan out with Tyga around this time, and he had the Deuces remix out that was growing traction. So we didn't want to, like, shy away from what was hot. We just kind of wanted to create his own lane with it.
I wanted to go bigger. I remember I dropped a record called Soldier that was on 19, but it featured Rich Homie Quan. We had a couple records that was just going crazy in the streets and on the internet. And so we dropped a record called Soldier. G-Pace actually did the video to this song. We shot it in East Atlanta. This was like, you know, we was trying to take our videos to the next level. You know what I'm saying? Like dancing, we was trying to get the right shots. We was trying to do everything. We pulled it off.
This was the summer everybody was moving on campus, and I asked him several times, Jacquees, no, we're gonna turn down scholarships. He said, yeah, Chris is gonna call me. So I didn't have a choice, but I said, okay. I cried a couple of days because everybody was moving their kids on campus. Everybody was calling me, Jacquees not going, because he was gonna go to Florida State. Yeah, Florida State. And he just, no, I'm gonna sing. Chris is going to call me.
That boy love Chris Brown too, man. That's his dog, you know. He been fucking with Chris. But yeah, wet the bed, made the cover that night, dropped it on YouTube. And yeah, bro.
Just wanna kiss on you and make you smile. Baby, you can stay a while. My lips on your lips making your heart weak, girl.
Basketball game that CB was about to come to here, and he was really, really serious about meeting CB. So I was like, okay, cool, that's no problem. You know, just when I call you, be in the right place at the right time or whatever. You know, they already know about you. I already sent them your stuff or whatever, so we're going to make it happen.
Reese, I knew her from Block Entertainment, and she introduced me to Hood, which is Chris Brown's best friend. I knew if I get next to his friend, I can get to him. I seen him at Luda Day. I went down to the Luda Day celebrity basketball game.
Shit crazy.
And I seen Hood, and that's when we made the connection. So we come back to us, me being in the studio, I get a phone call, they say it's Chris Brown. So I remember, I'm like, it's Chris Brown. Like, Chris Brown ain't called to holler at me or whatever. So I get on the phone, he like, hey, what's up, this Chris. I knew his voice because I've been a fan forever. I used to like pray for him to know me.
Hey, Tom, boy, you, hey, man, he hit me, dog, he hit me. I said, who hit you? He said, Chris Brown hit me, man. I told you, man. He said, Chris said, I've been following you ever since Deuces. I said, what?
I used to be so inspired by him and still am. Like when I was a kid, like I want to sing like that, I want to dance like that, like I want to hit my notes like that, I want to do this, do that. So when he was on the phone, telling me like, yo, man, I want to bring you to LA, I want to get you in the studio, I want to do this stuff like that. I was just like, what? And he was telling me he wanted me to songwrite for him. Because, see, at first we was telling him, like, yeah, Jacquees, he an artist, but he a songwriter. He can come out here and be a songwriter. That's the finesse that we use to get in the door.
Don't worry, oh, I got your location. You cheated
So he just started flying back and forth, building his relationship with them, and you know, eventually became what it was. They worked on songs together, they did stuff together, and now they're brothers. You know, they're like brothers.
Getting me started, looking on your body, telling me not to say that when you wanna see me.
Hey man, put in work, big bro. Put in work on the way. Yes sir. Yes sir.
We really driving too and shit.
Yeah, we really out there, man. On the fucking way. Let's get it. We dropped a song called Won't Turn It Down. He got on the record. I remember being in the studio with him, and the song was actually supposed to be for him. And I remember Hood just telling me in the studio, he like, man, if you wanna, like, we brought you out here, like, don't just sit in the studio. He like, go up there and press a button. This before I knew it was a button on the board that you could press and talk to the artist while they recorded. And I remember I just went up there and pressed the button. And I was like, hey, say this. I gave him a line. He was like, oh, that's hard. I'm gonna say it. And he said it. I was just like, oh shit. And then I remember I looked back at Hood. He was like, tell him to say something else. And then I remember I pressed the button again and told him to say something else. And he said it. He was like, man, you know what? I'm gonna just put you on the song. And then he ended up saying my name on the song. And then our relationship was just like, you know what I'm saying? It's been like that since forever. We locked in like glue from that point. Cause I knew like, forget the songwriting stuff. Like he gonna allow me to shine as an artist too on his stage. You know, that's big for artists of that.
But he didn't stop. He kept going and shit, man. He here.
Cause I was doing my thing, like I said, with the mixtapes. I was doing shows, but I wasn't on TV. You would see every artist that'll be on TV, you will see them hang with me first, then they'll just take off. What's going on with Jacquees? I'm like, man, I gotta do something bigger.
Right here with the big homie Diddy, Lizzo. It's going down. Got some big things on the way.
Rich homie calling Daddy, Corey. I remember calling him on the phone. Well, I didn't call him. I told my manager Jonathan to call him. I was like, you call Corey. See if Corey will let us get in with them or something like that, because I see what they doing with Corn. Corn had just got with Rich Gang. It was about to be the next thing. I was already seeing it with Young Thug and Rich Homie Corn, so I'm like, I need to be a part of that. When Corey didn't answer Jonathan call, I'm like, man, I gotta call Corey, because I was kind of getting down and out. Like, I know I'm a big star. I know I can be a big star, but they ain't seeing me. So I get up calling Corey. I'm like, hey, Corey. I'm like, man, it's Jacquees. I'm like, he like, yeah, I got your number saved. I'm like, man, I'm trying to get with Rich Gang. I just told him straight, I'm trying to meet Birdman. You feel what I'm saying? And I said it right in front of my manager. You know, at the time, you got to think, like, to say it in front of your manager, it's kind of like, damn, it's like you trying to stun on him, but you ain't. You like, man, we trying to go bigger. Well, I'm trying to go with Rich Gang. I'm trying to see what y'all doing. And he was like, man, it's so crazy you called me. I'm with Birdman right now. And so he was like, he with Birdman right now. I just felt like, man, that's got to be God. So he was like, send me that one song you and Quan just did. I sent him Soldier. He called me back like, man, send me the video. And I sent him the video. And then on the third call, it was Birdman. Birdman was like, hey, don't even trip. I'm going to put you down. He was like, I seen the video. I just heard it. He was like, man, you got it. I'm going to put you down. I'm like, I hung up the phone, bro. I had tears in my eyes. Like, you grew up on Cash Money, like, you know Birdman's voice as soon as you hear it. A couple weeks later, he came down to meet me. Not a couple weeks, a couple days later, he came down to meet me. I remember I got on this tour bus to meet him. He was just staring at me for like 3 minutes straight, just like staring at me straight. And then finally when he broke, he was like, man, you got it. We finna do it. And I remember he shook my hand, and then the rest history.
There was a lot of things going on around Cash Money, so I was a little on the fence. But Birdman assured me that he was gonna do the right thing, you know, and he wanted to put Jacquees down. We were at Block for a long time. Block was great, but when we got the Cash Money, I kind of knew then that, you know, this might be a good situation. This may be it, because I knew Jacquees wasn't gonna stop working.
Signed to Cash Money, it may be a situation to where I couldn't work with them. So at that point in time, we were like, you know, to move forward in your contract, let's just end what we have and we'll figure it out. So, you know, at least you can go for it.
Good drip. Good drip.
We went through a lot. You know, people, I'm gonna put him on, I'm gonna put him on, I'm gonna put him on, I'm gonna sign him. But once he got the opportunity with Cash Money, he took the opportunity and he ran with it.
Within a month's time, we figured it out, and we just went forth with me being as a manager, partnering with the people at Cash Money so that we could move forward. So there was a month where I wasn't like Jacquees' manager.
Oh my God, is this a Lil Wayne lookalike? He's actually Birdman's new artist. So you're signing Cash Money.
Yeah,
How is it being on Cash Money?
I love it. I feel like Cash Money.
Wouldn't this guy be a little bit like, oh God, Lil Wayne, yeah, Birdman's using me kind of as a weapon?
Jacquees sings and Lil Wayne raps. So he's a singing version. He's a singing Lil Wayne.
Oh yeah, you think what's going on? Y'all niggas know what it is. And my mama
You know, say, get my mom on camera one time.
He was linking up with, you know, Rich Homie Quan, and he was linking up with Young Thug and them like that, you know, so it was dope.
Took him to that whole another level. It pretty much not no difference, man. He just needed that platform to get his shit off.
Jacquees' album just came out, so I was listening to that.
Backstage, I'm live and counting. And I'm just telling Bright, like, nigga, we going to the top. I go on stage every night and murder that shit. Bright got on my head and shit. Right now, you know what I'm saying? But that's what we doing right now, nigga, you know what I'm saying? It's a lot going on. I'm going to the top, 4275 on the way. Be expecting that. 2017, a lot of shit going on, FRB mixtape, my album. And a whole lot of more shit. Get ready, Cash Money, FYB. Get that tap though, cuz. Cash Money for life, FYB for life.
4075 tour, and I just remember my mom being out there, and we just saying so the fans just bring it all in, like, dang, they really made it. Like, they looking at us like the family, like, damn, the American dream.
I was really, really happy for him when he did Soul Train, you feel me? I know that was like one of them milestones, you know what I'm saying?
Grown.
Yeah.
I had the good fortune of working with Jacquees on his 2018, I believe it was, Soul Train Awards. And it was during the preparation for that performance where I understood he's a student of the game, is willing to go the extra step to prepare for his opportunities, and his talent is outsized. Like, he wants to be the best, and he's willing to put the work in. A lot of people say they want to be the best. Jacquees is putting in the work, and I always appreciate someone who puts in the work to get to the place they want to go.
I'd rather be with you and all your bullshit.
You know. No. You guys on stage.
I know you got problems. Ooh, Jacquees. Now I should be your lover. I should be your friend. All those silly issues made up in your head. Money could pay for your time, but it's not enough. They calling me back with some bullshit like what up? I swear to God, I should be gone, leave alone.
There's nothing like a new artist who is hungry and does all the work, right? This man rehearsed for an hour and a half the other day and then did another 3-hour rehearsal. Baby was doing he was doing a promo, and he said, I was like, Jacquees next superstar.
Exactly.
And 3 years later.
You can sing for real.
Yeah, this ain't no flaw. This ain't no game.
Yeah, it ain't no auto-tune up in there. You
Nah.
just doing it. You doing your thing.
I appreciate that.
Sometimes I remember.
It sound fly if you behind it just a little bit. It sound fly like everything. I like that. I bet. That's it.
Willingness to learn from those who have come before him and study those who have come before him have allowed him to take that and put his own twist on it.
I know you got something, dog. I know this for sure.
Get it. Yeah, man.
Mr. Future Baby Mom Studio, I got a whole bunch of them.
Yeah, that was him. They do it.
It's like I'm always want more. Like, I'm always paying attention to, like, the greats. So I always kind of clock my stuff on, like, how they did it. So I might look and see, like, okay, how old was he when he shot this movie? Okay, he was 26. I'll be like, fuck, I'm 28. Okay, how old was he when he did this? Okay, he was 21. Okay, I remember when I was 21. Okay, I kind of clock like that. Even though I know everybody's timing, not my timing, that's kind of like the way I always did it for myself. Like with the greats, not nobody in my class. You know, it's always like the Michael Jacksons, the Temptations, Tupac, people like that. Like, what was their time period? And even though, you know, everybody, like I say, this is a marathon, this ain't a race, you know what I'm saying? But that's just the way I keep myself going too. You know, like once I get to a certain point, I know like, okay, I'm burning out right here. I gotta go higher. Like when I'm getting bored somewhere, I'm like, it's time to do something else. Like I know I can do something else. And I just know my potential. Like I know me. Like I know like if I'm in this room right here, I know like, okay, I can get a bigger one. My first tour I toured on a mixtape, it was the Mood Tour. I dropped the Mood mixtape, hosted by DJ Spins. It was crazy because that was actually like my biggest mixtape at the time. Me and DJ Spins, we did my first mixtape, Round of Applause, my second mixtape. So we had already put a lot of work in. You know, fast forwarded, going to the Mood Tour, it was like, okay, we on tour. We on the Mood Tour, we got a tour bus. I'm signing Cash Money. Like, it's lit.
I tell him what the budget was. I tell him he can only travel with this amount of people. He can only do this because he, you know, we managing him and we've been doing this. Well, he blew all the money.
Like his first couple of tours, he brought the whole hood. Like it was probably like 20 of us on the bus,
more
bro.
than 20.
Yeah, we've definitely had some altercations on the road. But again, it's like we family. We kind of, you know, we get over it, we move on, and we just keep it rolling.
I didn't get paid. My other manager, Corey, didn't get paid. Then we had a red line. You know what I'm saying? He blew all the money because he took everybody with him.
We went across all the states, bro. You feel me?
Yeah. Everybody got on.
Yeah, the
folks
bus
like,
on
no, you
E.
can't have this me. Like, why stop? I'm gonna come.
Yeah, we there.
On the floor,
We was all there.
Like, well, what was that?
We went and had a good time, but that led a whirlwind, man.
It's cameras on you 24/7, you know, everybody. Like, even the people who walk with him, they gonna get the same love.
See fans going nuts and going crazy and just sold out shows.
Every show, number women. I mean, it's some players in there too, cause they coming for the women or they came with their girl, you feel me, for a good time.
And they know the words. And I got some of the biggest artists in the game right now on this mixtape, and I ain't even got no album, bro. We popping.
He's selling out every city. You know, the people that he's touched for like years, you know what I'm saying, still coming out.
I mean, his fans are just dedicated, loyal, and you know, I came in the game at a young age too. So a lot of the fans even just grew up with us because we did a lot of shows together when we was kids. Just tagging along to Jacquees would do annual shows here in Atlanta, and he would do big birthday parties, and I was just always. You know, they always just was like, little bro, come on. We've always just kind of had these like crazy fan bases who just love content from us and just doing music.
One of those artists like myself that's really all about his fans and connecting it, and that's what he does it for. It's not about nothing but that.
First tour was crazy. Pulling up to the cities, fans already lined up outside. They got t-shirts with your name, they got the posters with you on it. It just was crazy. The Mood Tour was everything. It was real first tour vibes, but it was definitely legendary.
I just seen him connect with his fans on a different level. And it just always inspired me, man. It's always just kept me motivated. He just keep this confidence with music no matter what.
Been on the road for years, and it's kind of like my little brother. So, you know, it's gonna be times where we get into arguments, we get into situations, and we've even had some fights.
We was on tour with Tory Lanez or whatever. We had just got out from doing a show. They put him and Tory Lanez on the flyers. We tried to get inside the club and find a promoter, like, who doing this? And then we came back. And then we were like, damn, they really, like, they were just trying to use Quee as a way to get them some money. Like a wake up, like, dang, folks, this joint bigger than what we think it is. Like, crazy.
In the airport, finna go to St. Louis. Show, doing it big again. We ain't never stop.
I've watched him go from 200 cap rooms with a Mood Tour. You know what I'm saying? We went from 200 to 700 cap rooms to 750 caps to 500s. You know what I'm saying? To being on tour with Chris Brown. you know what I mean, to doing his own headliner tours. And he's an artist that a lot of people don't know. He started in the game after being in the game like 1 year with his own headline tour, to where he sold out 18 of the dates.
No, she think I'm Michael Jackson. Energy, moonwalk, walk, 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 walk. She in love with the fashion. Y'all give it up for my DJ BG, since you playing too. Y'all love it. Thank y'all so much. Love for life.
I've always been about just, keeping content out there, getting the content out there. Don't worry about the label. When you're in the studio making records, you know it's a hot record. Leak it on your social media. Let people start talking about it. Because sometimes you gotta take matters into your own hand to really get it to where you want to go.
He came from the era when we used to pass out flyers and all that, you know what I'm saying? Like, we used to, we seeing fans hand to hand, like we giving the fans flyers and different CDs and stuff, you know what I'm saying? It's different. Now everything pretty much internet.
My boy a hustler, you feel me? He gonna go get it every time. And like, he do it with passion too. Feel me? Got a lot of passion about everything that he doing, no matter if it's an album, a photo shoot, rehearsal, tour, whatever it is, he do it with a passion.
He's been performing since he was a kid, so of course, but I've seen him up his production and all that, so like, he's taking it to another level every single time.
Folks started putting on mixtape on iTunes and Spotify everywhere. You don't need none of that.
Yeah, it's like,
so you have to be outside to really know niggas who know you. Like, oh yeah, he was outside.
Coming into the music game, like 106 and Park was the place you wanted your video to be shown. I think it was every artist's dream at that time, because it was the only platform that was really showing music videos, really showing new artists, and that was how you was discovering. That was the last time I remember just rushing to the TV and turning the channel on to make sure I tuned in, because we were like, what number is our video today? Is it 10? Is it 1? Is it 5? You know what I mean? We wanted to be texting our fans like, vote, vote, vote. And it was such an interactive process with your fans with national TV. And I would say what's different now is that social media is that. Everybody, you have to build your own channel now. You know what I mean? Like, your Instagram is your channel. And so what are you feeding it? It's easier now, but it's also saturated. So you also have to find ways to stand out.
Queen, nigga go viral every other damn week, it seems like, and he don't care.
The land of the free. Down, girl, you been locked in. You my twin. What type of shit he got you in? Take the keys to the bin, yeah. Come on.
In the car. And I just heard the guy say it on the radio, like, if you got kids, then, that was Jacquees. He's like the king of R&B for this generation. And I'm sure he's a guy who probably got kids, and his kids probably kept him up to date, to speed with my music, because I dropped so many mixtapes that people didn't know about. I got 10 mixtapes that's out, that I dropped throughout the years. And there was mixtapes that actually helped me to become who I am today. So at that time, I was just thinking, like, there's so many people that's overlooking me and not really giving me credit for certain things. They not really putting the light on me. I was like, what am I gonna do to put the light on myself? And that's when I made the statement, stay on the King of R&B, for my generation. I knew it was gonna attract attention, but I didn't know it was gonna attract all that attention that it did.
May have been the best thing he ever did in his life, actually.
I was there when he announced it and made the post on Instagram.
But I just want to let everybody know that I'm the King of R&B right now. For this generation. I understand who done came and who done did that and that and that, but now it's my turn. Jacquees, the King of R&B. I just heard him say it, and I've been feeling like that. ATL, let's get it. I'm the new King of R&B.
I didn't think it was gonna do what it did. I thought it was gonna be on a small level, but it actually blew up to a bigger level than when anybody could think of.
Hashtag King of R&B began trending on social media with people declaring their own choices for the crown.
What he said correctly was that it's different decades. And so he was feeling that, for right now, for this past 2 weeks, he's the king of R&B.
Block the haters. Block all the haters. I got a lot of haters.
A lot of people could have been saying that, but he was the one that stepped down like, I'm the king of R&B. I do this.
Oh, you are the king. Or you were originally. You were originally the king. No. You were originally the king. So are you passing down the torch?
This the king from back then. I'm the king for right now. This keeps Sweat. Big Sweat. But it's Big Queen. Big Queen.
Hold up. I'm still getting that bag. I don't know what he's talking
he getting a bag, but 16 to 25 is my generation. I'm the king.
Will you pass it? Are you willing to pass the torch?
Ain't no torch to pass.
Man, cut the camera off.
I never heard Marvin Gaye, Luther Vandross, Teddy Pendergrass, or nobody talking about who was the king.
They ain't had the internet. It's a whole different game.
Hey, I'ma shut my mouth. I done sold 30 million.
And I done been in the game for 2 years.
I ain't the
4
king.
platinum.
I ain't the king of
4275 in stores.
I ain't the king of
This the king of that generation. This the king of that one. I'm the king of mine. Let's get it. Wait, the king's torn away.
When we gonna do a record together?
Oh! See, he want to get in the studio with
You might as well do it now.
You done messed up now.
Hold up, baby. We going in the studio. I got some more Make It Last Forever in me, baby. You know what I'm saying? I got some.
Your heart feel like you're the king of R&B, and you know in your mind that you're the king of R&B of your generation. That's what it is. Like, people can't tell a person what they're not.
And I knew with me being a part of the family and a part of the team, it's like, yo, we got a lot of work to do now. We got a lot of show and prove. So I was just like, I was fired up like he was.
We know you the hardest one out here.
Yeah, we like bet y'all catching on now.
Yeah, we
like,
stand on whatever.
we already knew it.
Stand on whatever.
You mean how did the king of R&B influence R&B? I'm sorry, that king of R&B thing was one of my favorite things. That was just one of my favorite things all the time.
I think it started a conversation for one. I think that, if people didn't know who he was before, they definitely at least knew who he was afterwards.
You feel me? I don't know what niggas thought. Niggas is crazy. But, for what it is and for the competition that's going on, I'll give it to my man Jacquees. I'll let him have that, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He sing all day. That's what he does, you know what I'm saying? That's my little bro, so.
It's got to be a generational thing, though, because you got Marvin Gaye, Stevie Wonder, Ray Charles, James Brown.
No, they're just saying this generation.
He was talking about for now.
This generation.
Hey, yo, for now, I ain't heard nobody say nothing about Miguel. Who better than Miguel?
Yeah, I love Miguel.
Drop one of the clues bars for Miguel. Miguel is my favorite R&B singer of this generation. And I will say, of the past 10 years,
Chris Brown.
Maybe 15, Miguel and Chris Brown got the 2 best R&B records.
From 16 to 25, he's the one. It ain't nobody else.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, I understand why the young king is saying that.
It sounds like a broad statement when you talk about his generation. He really is like the king of R&B. Like, there's nobody in his generation that think. Chris Brown been in the game, 17 years. Chris Brown came out in 2005.
From our college years and high school years, like Jacquees, that's all you knew as R&B, you know what I'm saying? You had all the rappers and stuff like that, but when it came to R&B, you had Jacquees.
Middle school, high
Yeah,
school, they don't
like
count.
we grew up on them.
We
folks.
grew up on them. So
like,
the people that grew up on Queen music off the mixtapes, it was the only R&B, and he kept it solid. And the whole way he ain't try to rap, none of that. It was all R&B.
Strictly R&B.
So I'm the R&B generation. And then folks already was saying it before he said it.
Yeah.
So he heard it on the radio.
Yeah,
Like,
the radio said,
see, I knew I was feeling that, but he said it. So yeah, I'm King R&B, and we with it because he the king for real. Who else been doing it that long? He's still going right now.
You had people like to understand where he coming from. Then you got some people who just, they be stuck one way. In which, me personally, like if that's how he feels, then just like T.I. saying, he the king of the South. Until you can, you feel what I'm saying? Like, shit, it's what it is.
I feel that Jacquees calling himself the King of R&B at the time was perfect because it was no one out doing what he was doing. So I understood where that came from. And I was like, I feel it, because when he said it, there was nothing out. There was no one dropping banger after banger after banger in that whole lane.
Really, R&B, when it comes down to R&B, ain't too many niggas like doing the R&B that I came up on. So for this generation, I guess so. Who else doing R&B like that? That's under 30.
I think that if you don't believe you're the king or the queen, how can you sustain yourself in a business like such? I came in the game, the first person that I ever heard say those words was Bobby Brown. Bobby Brown is another person that is authentic, straight, real. You get it raw, however he give it to you, you gotta take it. If you understand that, then you understand why him being the proclaimed or self-proclaimed king of R&B should not be problematic. If you don't feel you're the greatest, how can you convince the rest of the world that you are?
I mean, everybody have their own. R&B has evolved to other things, which is a good thing too, but he still keep the essence of R&B, and the lights just went out.
Bruh is like the last from that like 2000s, late 90s, like that quintessential male R&B singer. Like, that's kind of dead now.
I'm back and trying to figure out, like, Jacquees run, like I can't catch it, like yeah.
Oh no!
Yeah.
Help!
Yeah.
Tamar.
Yeah. That's not it. Yeah. Yeah. No, that's not it. I can't catch it. Yeah. I think that's the note. Yeah. I ain't trying to be
kind of runs that I feel like I heard Jacquees do first, and now some of these others who are coming along who can sing, it feels like he's helping R&B go in another direction.
Like I say, I'm an older nigga, so I like the 90s vibe, and I think he evolved 90s R&B to this day and age R&B.
I think Jacquees' impact on R&B as a whole has been more than most R&B artists, because he just does a new R&B. He'll hop on a hip-hop track, he'll jump on some stuff for Future, and then he'll jump in comedy sketches if you look at the things we've done with Wild 'N Out, and I think that he does more than any R&B artist. I wouldn't even call him an R&B artist, I would call him an artist, even though he's short.
I'll tell you forever, I got you. Okay, now Nick, you my guy, you can hold it down on NBC, but don't trip, cause I'm gonna hold your girl down in my BED.
Man, he coming with all angles. He coming with the music, like I said. He coming with the dance and the videos. Like, he going all the way Michael Jackson style.
There were great artists, but the kings, I feel like, is Usher, you know, Chris Brown, and then you have another king, and I feel like the next king is Jacquees.
They call him the king. You know, you can call him what you want to. We're gonna let the music speak. But he here and he ain't going nowhere.
He is like the hottest R&B singer in his age group.
Make some noise for the king of R&B, Jacquees!
Wendy, thank you so much.
That is some kind of voice you have, boy.
It just made people create an opinion like, oh, he's arrogant, he think he all that, he this, he that, he ain't put in enough work, he ain't did this, he ain't did that. And I think it went over a lot of people's heads that I said that I was the king of my generation. You know, and I had separated what I was talking about from my generation. Like, I made sure I excluded certain artists and did certain things like that. And it just was crazy. Like, I had like everybody in the game talking about it. You know what I'm saying? Everybody. I feel like I put the conversation on R&B that needed to be had at the time.
Now, what's my man name? The king of R&B. What's his name?
Jacquees, man.
Jacquees. What's up with him? Yo, he had to hit it that bad at him for like a week.
I'm so proud of that young man, man. I mean, I've been working with Jacquees for going on 5 years.
Right.
And day one, I saw stardom in it.
It was what the internet needed at that moment, because R&B wasn't really, you know, obviously R&B isn't always talked about. And I think he brought a different energy to it. That he called all the OGs, started making these videos out of nowhere. And I was like, bro, you got them talking. And it allowed new artists to even just put their music up and put the caption up and be like, hey, I heard somebody the king of R&B. And it created this healthy sort of competition, you know what I'm saying? Which I feel like R&B has been missing. You know what I mean? We see it in hip hop, we see it in other genres.
This new album, King R&B, it features T.I., it features Quavo, it features Young Thug, Gunna,
It features Tory Lanez.
You got everybody on.
A lot of people.
He definitely stirred some people up, and I think it definitely worked. He went on tour, and it was, from what I seen up close, one of his biggest tours.
If you looked at social media, you'll swear nobody fuck with him. But when we on this tour, I think they screaming for that little nigga the most.
There's no one else that's had multiple platinum records, collaborations. Like I don't think that there's anybody else that can really go on tour by themselves, because Jacquees has definitely headlined multiple tours around, not just the U.S., around globally, you know? So with the fan base and streaming-wise, there's only about like 10 artists that stream, you know, in the top 10 of that R&B world as males. He's definitely one of them, whether people like it or not.
We just warming up, Are y'all enjoying yourselves tonight?
And he never gave up, and he just keep going and keep going and keep going. Even to the point where, you know what I mean, you go from this to this kid that's like looked at as like an underdog to saying, no, I'm not an underdog, I'm the king of R&B. You know what I mean? Like the audacity, but at the same time, the courage it takes, the confidence.
It's the hours that you put into the gym, right? It's the free throw shots that you've done long before anybody knows your name that makes it so you can stay a superstar at the sports level. The same thing is true.
Definitely something that translates when he performs and when he walks in a room. See, we don't get to cut the clock off. We gotta be who we are when we walk the streets, when we're in the airport, when our families are up or when they're down. So I think that he's able to say that because he's okay with carrying the responsibility of that.
Or you judge and all the memes and all the viralness, you know, everything you do, you gotta understand why you do it. You know, that's really him. It's really him. It ain't no act, it ain't no gimmick, that's really him.
He's still the same person, and that's what you want to do, and that's the one thing I always try to tell him, and I try to tell my people around me, like, don't lose your light, and don't let life take your light away from you.
Meeting with a lot of big labels and a lot of big managers and other people that we met with, it was a lot of no's, and it was a lot of, he's gonna have to cut his dreads, or he's gonna have to sing this way, or y'all need to get him this, or y'all need to do this. Sticking true to what him and I both believe was really fit for him in his career. It feels good to be able to say, hey, now we have plaques to kind of back the things that we were saying.
I think he already done etched his name in the game, so all he got to do is take it to that next level of being legendary. You make people feel good, you last forever. You eternal.
I say, listen, you're gonna be big, man. You're gonna be famous. And one day you're gonna be on that balcony out of the country somewhere, and you're gonna reflect back on this. He said, you think so, Tom? He always he trusted in my belief in him. So I said, for real, man, I'm telling you, dog. When I get that call from him, Tom, man, I'm doing everything you said I was gonna be doing. Man, Cat. I said, man, I told you, man, you just keep pushing it, keep pushing.
Be brainstorming, just be throwing back and forth ideas about just, you know, how can we do this, how can we do that, and what it's gonna be like when we make, you know what I'm saying, this move or that move, or how it's gonna be when we finally get there. To see him do it, to see all of our partners, all of our, you know what I'm saying, it's a gang of us, bro. It's 1 out of a million, you know, everybody don't make it. To say you don't do it and actually do it, you know, it empowers you, it makes you feel damn near like you can do anything, bro.
Didn't handle it really well, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't no situation where he had an issue trying to change from a child star to a superstar, you know what I'm saying? The transition really came smooth. He wasn't hitting notes a certain way that he liked. Over time, I watched him practice it and then be able to hit the notes exactly how he wanted to.
What about to do, bro? I'm going in. Yeah. I'm going in. I'm going in.
He ain't lost a step on his drive. He ain't never lost a step on the ambition side.
Yeah, I'm waiting on the one we got together to come out. Yeah, that motherfucker so hard. That shit's super hard.
Had this vision for himself for a long time. You feel me? Like way before myself, or feel me? It was just in his head.
For it all to come together and for the world to kind of like react to it is definitely like an amazing feeling.
He's never gonna stop, and he's always gonna keep growing. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people put him in a box, you know, being from Atlanta, being from the east side of Atlanta and doing R&B. And then, you know, coming out and saying, I'm the king of R&B, you know what I'm saying? A lot of people started to put him in a box, but it's yet to come. A lot of what's
what hasn't been discovered yet is gonna be discovered in the upcoming years.
You know, we've been talking about it forever since day one. Like, you gotta be the biggest, you know what I mean? So I wanna see him top of Billboard every Grammy there is, you feel me? Like, selling out arena stadiums, all that.
Jacquees is a superstar waiting to happen, waiting for the public, beyond just his core fans, to understand the talent that they're being met with right now.
How people around him perceive him as being such a big artist, then you'll kind of understand why we feel like that. You have to get a chance to experience, have a hands-on experience of being around.
That's my brother for real. You know, Queek, like, we got music we ain't even put out yet, like, to say the least. Like, we'll always do music together. I enjoy making music with him. Happy to be out here on the road with him right now. Every time I see him, it's love. Like, Queek, he wanna know how my mama doing. Like, he wanna know how my son doing. So, like, it's a relationship, like, much deeper than music, but music will always be something that we create.
I would love to see Jacquees become an arena and a stadium-size act. I think he has the energy and the work ethic more than anything else to make that happen.
I think you're gonna definitely see us go on a huge tour. I think I'm definitely gonna be a part of making sure that he sells out his own arenas, because that's what he started for me, doing my own arenas and then bringing my friends on. So I'm definitely gonna be a part of that. And I'm asking niggas to do some music with me too. I mean, every other comic got a song. I want a song too. Maybe a Rip Michael song. I'll be like, I love you, bitch, when I'm here. Jacquees and Rip, bitch. On the futon. I don't know how you can spell futon in the song. F-M-I-F-U-L. I don't know how to spell futon.
You know, he deserves to be on a big, big platform. Everything that he's getting finally, he deserves it because he was always so hungry. He knew exactly what he wanted to do.
I think Jacquees is one monster hit away from being a ubiquitous name.
He did what he set his mind to do when he was 8 years old. He always told me, Mom, I'm gonna be on BET, I'm gonna be on MTV one day. And everything that Jacquees is gaining now, he deserves it.
For that journey to now come into fruition, it just feels great to be able to be a part of the journey and to be able to have something to do with the success.
You know, stay dedicated to yourself and stay dedicated to the dream. You gotta learn how to master your dream. So whatever you're thinking at night, whatever you're thinking during the day, whatever you're thinking in your head, you gotta learn how to put it into real life. And I say trust God, believe in God, and, you know, express it to your family of what you want to be, because those could be some of your first fans, your first supporters, and they could really put the battery in your back to be who you want to be. It's kind of good for people to cheer you on. It kind of lets you feel like that you're doing the right thing at the right time. And even if you're someone that don't have people to cheer you on, just cheer yourself on. You know, look yourself in the mirror and cheer yourself on. I used to spend a lot of time in the mirror, and I still do, like, just, you know, just telling myself, like, what I can be and what I want to be. It just kept itself protected with that confidence and with that faith.
It's not about what happens to you, it's about how you react to it, you know, and he always bounced back and came back tenfold, so that's all that really matters.
The love and our respect that I got for little homie, little Queek, right? He come around that rich gang era, man. You heard me when, you know, when he was just popping off. He was the youngest nigga. And he's still the youngest nigga in charge, but the love and respect and the creativity and the talent and him just standing 10 toes down with his shit. And Thugger is the reason that we even got together, bro. You heard me, brother? And Corey.
Yeah,
Corey,
shout out to Corey.
but never love and respect for you, your family, and just how solid you is and how solid you've been with Cash Money, my brother, and Rich Gang. Yeah. Man, it's your turn, bro. Yeah. And it's your world, bro. Later. Real tough.
You know, never take no for an answer. Always be respectful towards people. Never let nobody shut your confidence down. Like, whoever you think you are is what you are, and whoever you think you can be is what you can be.
Standing With Me is the new American Idol, about to sing his first song off his new album. Jacquees running it.
She's like, I'll reach out my hand to you. This is my name. My name is Jacquees. I'm from a KD story. This is about me. My name is Jacquees. When I grow up, I'm gonna be a singer, and that's who I wanna be. When I get older, gon' see me on MTV and probably BET and probably 106 and probably prime time. When you see me, I'ma be on it live. And when you see me, I'ma come make me a CD or a tape. Whichever one you got, you buy it for me. Cause when my fans do me up, they appreciate them. You heard me? Cause my name is Queen.
I know he was tired. He always be tired. He always be sleeping. So he gotta get it in sometime.
Baby boy, man, know that. That's how we coming in the world. I'm so excited. You don't even understand. Now what hustle just all I'm thinking about right now is the hustle. You know what I mean?
Lord, I owe God my whole thank you.
God is good. My biggest blessing ever. That's all I ever wanted to do. Was this forever me. You feel me? My new best friend,